Hey, what is going on, YouTube? Back again with Off the Balls. Here, joined with Nick and myself. Welcome, Nick. How you doing today?
Well, I'm doing a lot better this week.
You're doing a lot better. You love to see it. How did your week go?
Ah, I reversed it this week. I said 1-3, done with that. Let's go 3-1. That's what I did this week.
Oh, the 3-1 bounce back week.
Mm-hmm.
You love to see it. I personally did not have the greatest week. I won the matchup I really wanted to win. I went 1-2. I lost in two of my leagues, but one of my leagues, it was like kind of like a revenge, not a revenge game, but I had to put some respect on my boy's nickname.
Ooh.
So let's get it started here with the Capital League and take it away, Nick.
I just appreciate you taking one for the team. I mean, you allowed me this week to go ahead and win. And you just took one for me. So I appreciate that, man.
Hey, yeah, yeah. Sometimes you just gotta look out the boys. Look out for the boys, and you know, I I'm not panicking because the league I did lose in. I'm not panicking that league because in both leagues I have D Hop coming back, but we'll talk about that a little later. Let's jump into the Capital League.
Hey, you like that?
Yeah, yeah,
First try.
I'd love
No
to see
technical
it.
difficulties here.
Yeah, not today, not today.
Not today, Satan. Alrighty, so if you're going ahead and looking at this screen now, we had Jason lose again. He's 2-3, so still better than me, but we'll get to me in a minute. He ended up losing to Michael, I was actually talking to Lorenzo, who we had on last week. And at draft, week one, we talked about how Michael couldn't get there and make his own picks for the first so many because he had an emergency.
Yep, yep.
So after the draft, we were kind of like, Michael's team doesn't look the strongest. Just because he wasn't able to make those picks. What did I do?
No, you're good. Are you good on my end?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, my screen just went crazy.
Are you good?
So we were looking at that, and then meanwhile, he's been creeping up, creeping up, creeping up. His team's looking really solid, and he's made the moves necessary. So kudos to Michael, you
Yeah.
know?
No, definitely. I mean, he's rocking that 3-2 record into week 5. You love to see it, to be honest, and
Hmm.
especially with having a messed up draft, you take those.
Yeah.
You take those for sure.
Juan had a solid week, but Willie's just on a tear streak. Willie's the only still undefeated team. He's just got a monster of a team, and he's picking up more. Like he just picked up Kyle Pitts got dropped, and so he's taking a shot on him, but that could end up working good in his favor because Kyle Pitts is honestly talented. He's just having a rough year.
Yeah, I mean, some of these teams are going to start out that way, and the Atlanta Falcons just don't look good in general. But once they start clicking, I mean, depending on what tight end he has currently, that could be a steal.
Most definitely. Lizzie and Lorenzo beat Saletha, which I'm not surprised because they beat Saletha with half of her team that she dropped. Saletha's the one who dropped Chase and dropped St. Brown, and so um, they ended up making that. But also, he just got another steal.
What did he get now?
He just picked up Swift off the waiver wire.
No, like, is nobody watching the waiver wires? And who's dropping Swift?
So I'm watching these. I put in for it. I put in for Pitts. I put in for Swift, but people are higher up on the waiver wire because I had to pick up what little trash I could still get. I was picking up crumbs, and then
Yeah.
this filet mignon dropped down, and they're like, "Nah, I'm higher on the waiver wire. I'm going to go ahead and get them."
That is insane. So does your waiver wire not reset before the waiver wire drops?
No, this waiver wire is one where it starts out, boom, how the draft went. So if you had a terrible draft, it starts you off first waiver wire pick,
Gotcha, gotcha.
and it drops you down. Now, once you pick a waiver,
You
you
go
get a
all the way back
waiver,
down.
it goes all the way down to the bottom.
Gotcha.
So some of these people who didn't need to pick up anything on waivers because they had a good draft, now all of a sudden these good players are coming in. They're like, "Yep, scooping them up."
Oh yeah. I mean, who can we call out who dropped Swift?
It's Amy,
Amy.
Team Raiderette. Yep.
Amy, what are you
Mhm.
doing? He's coming back after the bye.
Yeah.
And you guys are just making Lizzie's and Lorenzo's team stronger.
Oh yeah.
he's already 4-1, and
Mhm.
oh man, that team's gonna be dangerous.
It's going to be very, very dangerous. But yeah, enough on that rant. Let me keep going. Alexis ended up losing to Adrian in a fairly close match. Luis beat Gracie. So Gracie and I are now 1-4.
Oh, so are you
That's
not last
right, I
place
said it.
anymore?
That's right. I said it.
Oh,
1-4.
1-4.
Off Losers Island. There is nobody left on Losers Island on this one.
You love to see it. Congratulations, Nick. Give you your claps.
you.
Getting off of Losers Island. You love to see it.
I was worried. I'll get to that in a second. Amy, who just dropped Swift, ended up beating Kim. Kim's now 3 losses in a row.
Yikes. That's tough for Kim. But I mean, Amy dropped Swift and got. I know Swift wasn't playing this week, but she scored 133 points. So.
I mean, she's still got a solid team.
Okay.
I forget exactly who she has, but I want to say I know she's a Raiders fan, so I gotta imagine that she picked up
Davante Adams.
Davante Adams. Sorry, brain fart.
You're good.
I have to think that, but I really don't want to go and look right now.
Yeah, no, you're good. But definitely the Davante Adams. Speaking of him, he
may be suspended.
And I'm talking possibility of multiple games because if you guys didn't know, at the end of the Kansas City game, which they lost in a very, very close game after being up 17 points. Shout out the Raiders for choking. But he decided when walking off the field that he was just going to shove a sound guy onto the floor.
Like, did you hear what he said in the press conference, though?
I did not.
He said that the guy ran in front of him and he was caught off guard, and so he shoved him because it startled him. And then later on in the press conference, he went to admit that he was also frustrated about the loss because they choked big. So.
Oh yeah, no,
you're not going to be startled by that.
That was 110% intentional frustration.
Yep.
The guy walked in front of him, had plenty of space. He's a sound guy, so he's getting sound bites for the NFL, and you can't shove people like that to the ground. I mean, like, players get in fights with each other in the game, and they get suspended for it, but you're talking about, like, criminal charges here. Like, that's borderline assault on someone that's just doing their job.
Yeah, either just hope that sound guy's not a divisional fan.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because then he'll really press charges and get him off the field.
Yeah, I have seen that charges have been pressed, so he is definitely going to be out next week for sure. So it might be a case where he's out until pretty much this gets settled, and that could be a big loss for a lot
let's hope so, honestly, because I don't have him in any of my leagues. So
yeah, I mean, this is the only year I haven't gotten Davante Adams. And to be honest, I'm kind of happy right now. I'm not as happy because Ja'Marr Chase hasn't been doing shit, but I'm happy that, like, it's just uncalled for.
Yeah. But right here, Dan and Karen, who we talked about, Lorenzo talked about, he thought they had one of the best teams in the league. I beat him this week for my first win.
You love to see that, and you bring them down to a negative record. So anytime you can, get a win off someone that's like close to you, that just is so much better because you close that gap. I mean, this is your first win, and you're a game back on a lot of these teams.
Yep.
So it's especially in this year, a lot of teams are right there on the bubble. I mean, I'm 3-2 in one league, and I'm in 7th place. Because we have 5 other 3-2 teams. It's insane.
Yeah.
But congratulations on your first win, bud.
Yeah, I was sweating bullets. I had Derek Carr to their Carlson.
Oh.
And Carlson was going off, and I'm going, oh, no. at one point they passed me because Carlson had more points than Derek Carr did.
Yeah.
And then that final touchdown pass that Derek Carr threw really
Solidified it for you.
nail in the coffin. So
you love to see it. You
but yeah,
love to see it.
next week, let's see. Next week, who do I have? I have Gracie.
Yeah, Gracie.
I have Gracie.
Okay.
We're both 1-4, so the slum pit.
The battle of the bottom teams. But this is actually really good for you because a lot of those other teams that are 2-3, 3-2, they're been facing each other. So lower that gap even more, close your margin on there if you could pull out that win and kind of separate yourself from the bottom. So hopefully you can pull out that win as well. We'll see. Let's hop over to the Rent-Free League. Let me pull that up real quick.
Rent-Free?
Yeah, this is the Rent-Free League. We named it Rent-Free because we live in people's heads rent-free every week. I mean, as you can tell by just the name of my team, I was going against Justin. He is a Dallas Cowboys fan. I named my team Cooper Rush Won't Save You. And did I eat my words? Because Cooper Rush is undefeated since he started. I mean, at this point, do you even play Dak? But we'll talk about that later. I know we're going to dive into it, you being a Cowboys fan. But I unfortunately lost for the second time in a row this week. Justin is actually, if you remember correctly, week 1 we were roasting him. He was 0-1. He squeezed by his first victory by a points adjustment for Jalen Hurts, and he's on a 4-win streak now. He's taken down Chris, that's 3-2. He took down Chad, that's 4-1 now as well, and then he took me down this week. I gotta highlight something real quick. Like I'm clicking on my team here, right? Let me look at the statistics for View Game Center. All right, let's leave the screen right here. So if you just look at the top of my board right here, I got 30, 35, and 20, right? You see that, you're like, damn, this team popped off this week, right? No, 117 points because the rest of my team, Brandon Cooks, 6. Jamar Chase, 12. Darren Waller, 0. Goes out with a hamstring.
Yeah, he got injured, so you can't get as mad at injuries as you do just being in the whole game getting 0.
Yeah, but so I looked at his statement or his news report, and he was questionable Friday with a shoulder, and but he didn't have the questionable tag all weekend. So I play him, and I was already iffy on playing him just because he hasn't been performing, and then to go out with a hamstring, and I don't know, man. It's just like he's a dog. Like he's got that dog in him. So like I'm like it's a close game. It's your division. Like I don't know. Like I feel like he could have got that like rubbed out and like shot up with something and go back into the game. But yeah, I think I'm getting off the Darren Waller train. I have a tight end that I'm gonna pick up, and at this point in this league, I don't have Andrews in this league. I don't have Kelsey in this league. I'm going with Taysom Hill.
How are you?
Yeah, because at this point I'm figuring if I'm going to get low points out of my tight end already, if Taysom Hill gives me 4 points, then I'm like, okay, that's the tight end being a tight end. But if he gives me 30 points like he did last week, I'm like, okay, if his ceiling is up there and I know where a tight end's floor is, I'll be fine with that. Like I'd rather gamble it week to week.
Now, once Jameis Winston comes back, though, does Hill's value go down?
I don't think so because how well he's doing. It's just, and it's always going to be a coin flip every week. But I feel like the tight end position is a coin flip anyways. And I feel like his ceiling is a lot higher than most of the tight ends you could pick up in the league that are still going to give you a low floor. But then we go with James Robinson, 5.9. Giants kicker Gano, he gave me 9. So, you love to see it. Miami Dolphins, yet again, give me negative points. So, out of 4 players, I got...
I don't want to hear it.
Out of 4 players, I got 9 points. 9 points out of 4 players.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can hear it.
Yeah, so... Yeah, but I'm not pulling the panic button yet in this league. I got D-Hop back next week. I might lose again this week. I'm going against Shake and Bake, I think, or whatever his name was, Shaker Baker.
Shake and Baker.
Yeah, Shake and Baker. I'm going against them. So I there's possibility I lose this week. Give me a second to pull up my schedule.
Right there, schedule.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's a possibility I lose this upcoming week, and I'll be fine because I'll be sitting at 3-3. Honestly, I was hoping for even or better going into week 7 because I get D-Hop back. Like I'm playing for the long stretch. And I've said this since I've drafted. I kind of went weak in my wide receivers after like my first round wide receiver choice. So I'm not scared yet. Like it sucks.
Okay.
I am scared a little that I'm scoring the least amount of points like in the league, but I'm 3-2, so I'm still there. But we have next. We have updated name because he's not from Disappointment. He's Bobby Boucher. They're going against Fiddy's Bodega. He had a great week. 134 is nothing like bad at all. Like that's a solid week. But he continues his losing streak of 0-5, going against Fiddy's Bodega. 166 points this week, and it's just like that's a rough one because he beats a majority of the league this week, and continuing that 0-5 streak. He's got that Matt problem going on. Everybody wants to score against them.
Yeah, well, I mean, it kind of sucks when you're trying to set your lineup from a shit pit.
Yeah, no, definitely. When you just have terrible players, it's hard to set up a winning lineup. You know
what he should try doing?
Scoring more points.
Better.
Yeah,
being better.
Just doing better. Matt. Shout out Matt. Shout out Gabe. Just do better. But then we had Shake and Baker going against Thumb and the Bum. That's my brother. It's an inside joke between them two. I
remember then the first time they met, didn't he get?
He got a thumb in the bum.
Yep.
And I've never seen a grown man jump out of another grown man's arms so fast. But Chris had a horrible week. He was 83 points, so
that's not horrible. Stay tuned.
But horrible week for Chris. And the future doesn't look any brighter because he has Devontae Adams. And so a little bit of panic there. But then we got J Ray going up against the Disappointments. J Ray with his first win currently off of Losers Island. Congratulations, J Ray. He takes down the Disappointments to keep their records both 1-4. We had a close, and I'm telling you, a nail biter here. 138 points even scored against 138.56. And this was...
Hey, hold on, though.
Guess what it was?
Inch or a mile.
Huh?
Hold on, is that who's that, Renee?
This is Pete. This is going to be our special guest later, but this is Pete's team. Guess who's got him the crunch victory?
Oh, God, it's going to be someone terrible.
It was a Monday night player.
Is it Derek Carr?
No.
Oh, it's Carlson.
No. He was down 35 points. Who got him those points?
Oh, he had Kelsey?
He had Kelsey. And he's like, I need 35 from Kelsey. Kelsey comes in the game, 4 touchdowns, 25 yards. What the hell? And scored him enough points.
In our group chat, we were talking about that has to be an NFL record.
It has to be. I mean,
that little of yards with 4 touchdowns.
He literally did nothing but red zone touches and scored 36 points this week. Absolutely ridiculous. But congratulations for Pete. He's actually going to be our guest in a little bit, but I just wanted to shout out to him because he's been down bad. He's been losing some close games, so finally pulling a one way. You love to see it. Let's hop over to the Rigid League.
Alrighty.
Oh, look at these beautiful faces.
Oh,
Ooh.
stop it.
What's that? Why do you got an LA hat on though? Like, is that for loving Arizona?
No, that's actually so. I'm a Dodgers fan. Yes, I said Dodgers and Cowboys. And
Sir.
their first game against the Padres is tonight. So
So you're gonna watch them win that first game?
well, maybe after this.
Maybe after this. All right.
I think it starts at like 6:45 or something. So
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I have no team in baseball. I mean, I have the Arizona Diamondbacks, but last time they made the playoffs, it was when they won the World Series. So
2001.
Yeah. So good luck to you. I mean,
their last win is of legal drinking age. Let's just say that.
Yeah. I mean, people that were born after that win are drinking now. But let's not talk about that. I don't want to get depressed right now. I don't want to get depressed. All right, let's jump into the league.
Alrighty, we're going over to the Rigid League. My name right there, Ship Jumper. Another first win.
Let's go, baby. Off Losers Island.
Yep, but I left Isaac there on Losers Island alone. And I love Isaac to death. Super great guy. But fuck you, Isaac.
you're on the ship leaving Losers Island, just fucking double burden them.
That's what Ship Jumper means. Yep, I'm on that ship. Later, bro. But yeah, it honestly, I think most of my games this week came down to Monday night.
Okay.
I either had some Kansas City player or some Raider player.
Gotcha.
So it really, like, I was sweating bullets all week. All right, so we'll go to the next one here. Quality Managers, MFers, now on a 3-game losing streak. He lost, do you see that? By 1.25 points.
Another
to
nail
Alpha
biter.
Wolf. Mm-hmm.
Alpha Wolf's on a streak though. Look at him.
Yep. I tried to get one of these guys on tonight. I talked to Chuck, I talked to Ben, I talked to Brandon, and it was all just terrible timing. So we're gonna get someone from this league on soon.
Yeah, definitely. We need some representation from the Rigid League.
Yeah, well, until then, they can fuck off, and I can just talk whatever I want on them.
Yeah, exactly. Who's gonna stop you?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Pop off in here? So another close game. 0-17 loses to Hooligans. That's Chuck. Another point.
Yeah,
I mean, just close games. I actually moved up 2 spots from 13th to 11th in this league.
Wow. Okay, so you had a big jump there just because of these close games and also like the right people losing.
Yes, correct. Another close one, KC Chick lost to Dangle Daddy. He's on a 3-game win streak. God, I hate when Dangle Daddy wins because he's so cocky, but he backs it up.
Hey, yeah. I mean, 3-game win streak. He's sitting at a 4-1 record. He scored 209 points this week. And
this is a slightly different adjusted.
But I mean, even if you're looking at the scores from the other teams, like Casey Chick had a phenomenal week as well, and that's a rough one.
Yeah, that's schedule.
Yeah,
that's honestly schedule.
That's schedule.
Which you remember, I played her last week schedule, and
yep,
it's the same thing. Is sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But. I found out on this league because I was really going in and looking at the reviews and why the points are so different. Attempts, you get this.
Oh, okay.
So passing attempt, rushing attempts, all that factor in.
Okay, so there's spiffs for rushing attempts, passing attempts.
Right, and then yardage. So with defense yardage, with how much yardage a single individual person gets you more points. So
gotcha.
It's definitely a different league. It's definitely hard to understand all the rules. Yeah. So Ben, the commish, could just be like changing his points and no one would know because they're like, I think it's okay.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. Let's see. Mike Cucci's Harry, another 4-game win streak.
Yeah, look at that.
Crushing, working from Mahomes. Like that's a big loss.
Yeah.
That's like Chris's and mine loss. Only Chris sucked as well.
Yeah. One of you didn't pop off.
We'll get to that in a minute. Murder Wagon lose again. He's on a 3-game losing streak to get back coach. 4-1. I play Murder Wagon next week. That's Jordan. So
okay.
I'm really hoping to win that one because that will move me up even further.
Yeah, no, definitely. Keep him at that 1-5. Give yourself a little buffer. So, I mean, that's going to be a big week for you.
I hope. And then right here, that last one, OG Hambone, Ben Kamish, losing to Ocean Report Expert, who's also on a 4-game, 219 points.
Yeah, that's a solid week right there. I mean, he beat him by 100 points.
I'm sorry, but I got to go into this.
Yeah, let's look into this.
Lamar Jackson. Hold on, let me get week 5 here.
Yeah, because that's showing for the full season. Okay, yeah.
Jacoby Myers, 29. Gabe Davis, Gabe Davis. There you go.
Yeah, 50 points from Gabe Davis. You love to see it.
But look at, oh my God, everyone did well. But look at his bench.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, 32. Derrick Henry, 37.
Yeah, I'm a little questioning on that one right there. Like, Hines over Derrick Henry?
Yeah, I would never. I got bit by the Naheem Hines bug, which we'll get to in a minute. But I would never put in Naheem Hines over Derrick Henry. Like, I don't care what matchup you have. I don't care if you have the best defense in the league. You're going to leave Derrick Henry in.
Yeah, he's one of those auto start players, just like Jonathan Taylor. I mean, they're gonna eventually pop off. And Hines, like Jonathan Taylor, hasn't been doing anything in Indy, so like putting all that hope into Hines when you have Derrick Henry right there, that's a little questionable, but okay.
I picked up Hines off of necessity.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I had no one else. I had to get something. Put him in opening drive. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's terrible, but I mean, even with that, his team performed, and you love to see it.
I don't. He's who beat me. I still have hurt feelings. He's who beat me in the Super Bowl. So
I mean, at this rate, he's probably gonna beat anybody in the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility because he's just continuing. Like I said, he was on a tear. He lost week 1, and then he said, "Nah, I'm done with that."
Yeah. He's like, losing is overrated.
I got that out of the way. I'm just gonna go ahead and win from now on.
You love to see it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm super happy for him, honestly, and especially with I think last year was his 2nd season or something like that. So he's really, really like figured this out. He's a smart dude. Romano is super smart, so he's figured it out. He knows what he's doing now, and he's fucking crushing the league.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that 219 score, and you worry a little bit when you go to face him. So, I mean,
I worry a lot of it. I already faced him, and he just smacked that ass.
The nice thing that's coming up now is bye weeks. So next week is the first bye weeks that we're going to have. So it's going to help out a lot of people that are struggling.
It's already hurting me.
Yeah, I mean, it's hurting me this first week too, but it's going to help out in the long run for some of these teams that are struggling a little bit, be able to sneak away wins when other players, superstars, are out. But if you have an overall great team, bye weeks don't affect you as much. So
you just brings the bench up and
exactly. You do a quick swap and then you're good to go. But congratulations to everyone that won. Congratulations to you getting off of Losers Island. Let's go. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Double league getting off the island.
I'm super excited about it.
I would be too. I mean, it's rough way to start, but the progress just starts from there. So let's jump into the work league easy dubs.
All right.
Let's see this. All right, so started off with my game. I renamed myself this week because you guys know I rename myself every week. Serving humble pie. I went against Isaiah, who happened to take down Mike, the co-host Nick,
Yes,
last
truly.
week, and he started popping off a little bit in the chat.
He got a little too comfortable.
yeah, he went a little too hard. And we had to like take him down a notch. I was like, I'm gonna humble you this week, and he was saying GG's by end of Friday or end of Sunday night, and
Well, I think he was trying to get us off his back, so he was a little more humble this week. But now I don't think because he lost. I think he was just trying to like, all right, I better say something now because these guys were talking shit.
yeah. I mean, because we all do it in jest, but we were going in on him a little. But he was he was giving up the GGs. I knew I had to have a good lead going into Monday night because he had Patrick Mahomes left. I was like, I'll be comfortable with a 40-point lead. And I got about a 38-point lead going into Monday. He had Mahomes, and Mahomes was just, he got 4 touchdowns. So he got him, I believe, 29 points. And so it brought him super close. So that buffer I had held. And you know me, like, I wanted to take shots at him, but it's hard to take shots at someone when they're like saying GGs and there's
he's
a close.
also like, we give him shit, but he's one of the nicest.
He's
guys
one of the
in
nicest
world.
fucking guys, but we still give him shit. And the
yeah.
funny thing about that, like, it's like bring your family to work day tomorrow. So I'm gonna take him to work tomorrow because he's my son now. Because he's actually 0-3 against me throughout the last 2 years. So
Yeah,
I think it qualifies him to be my Nino. So I'm gonna take him to take yourself to work day or take your family to work day. I'm gonna maybe get him a little ice cream. I don't know, just butter him up a little because I mean he just can't beat me. It's crazy.
you know what? You just send it my way, and I'll make sure it gets to him.
Oh, okay, I got you. You'll make sure it heads over.
Wait, I think he likes a pizza.
He likes pizza?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll definitely get it to him.
Definitely. I'll make Isaiah. You make sure you go ask Nick for the pizza.
What pizza?
Because your dad's gonna take care of you. All right. No, just all in good fun. Isaiah, you put up a good fight. I just did better, like always. But we're gonna jump into your game. So we have another trash year going against Hit and Rugs.
Yeah. As you can see, good thing I changed my name before this week because it really reflects. So on this right here, remember earlier when I said I don't want to hear it? Like, I don't want to hear what you have to say about your players. I had 4 players go for 10.5 points combined.
I mean, I had 4 players go for 9.
Hold on, though. Nyheim Hines. Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
Got hurt.
Opening drive. Right. AJ Dillon 3.4.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
That's unacceptable for AJ Dillon.
Yeah.
T Higgins 0.
Was he
in?
He was a late tag though, right? Like
no, he was tagged all week. He came into the game. They took it away. They had him in the game, but they didn't pass to him. They had him just testing out. Like it was a practice. He was testing out his ankle on the field at real time. And then they're like, no, you know what? Never mind. Just go ahead and come off.
That's tough right there.
And Jalen Waddle, 5.3. 3 people. Nyheim Hines, I'm not even including him in that group.
Yeah.
Dillon, Higgins, Waddle. You should see 50, 60 points out of that grouping.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, the unfortunate thing for Waddle is Bridgewater's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's not a QB1, but he's a good quarterback. He can get the ball to his receivers. He can help that Miami team win. But when your second string quarterback goes down and goes into concussion protocol at the beginning of the game, was it the first play of the game?
Yep.
You bring in this third string guy that was probably playing arena football last week,
They
And
might have picked him up on the park on the way in.
I think they just asked somebody to go in there from the stands.
Yeah,
Because come here. You come
Put
try to
this
throw the
on.
ball to these guys. But I mean, they got blown out by the Jets. And that's going to happen, unfortunately, when you have an offense that doesn't do anything.
Speaking of the Jets, though, they're looking dangerous.
Man, I'll say it again. Like I think we said it the other week. I wouldn't classify them as dangerous, but they're looking
dangerous.
good.
Their rookie class
They're
looking dangerous.
And what's exciting about the Jets is everybody's young. So if they can put together even like a couple vets in there next year, I think they could be a dangerous team next year. I think they're squeezing by this year, but they possibly make the playoffs. But they have a real tough division. They're going to have to face the Patriots twice. They're going to have to face the Dolphins twice, and probably two will be back for that second meeting. And then they have to face the Bills twice. So it's going to be a tough division. But
the Bills, they're nothing to worry about, right?
Yeah, right. Bills, Schmills.
Who's that?
Who are the Bills? But you had a tough week this week. Chris skated by with a 111-point win. But a lot of teams had really good weeks this week. And there's a couple teams that just, but everybody's over 100 points. But you 69, nice. But but
hold on though.
We're gonna get to them. I just wanted to highlight Natalie. I'm gonna hype her up again. She's had another great week. She's on a 3-game win streak, 174 points, most in the league this week. And
I'm clicking on her thing here. Who did it?
It has to be a combination of quite a bit of players. Possibly, I know she has Stephon Diggs, but I don't really know her roster too much. But
okay. Yeah, no. So Jalen Hurts, 27. Stephon Diggs, 24. Jacoby Myers, 24. Dallas Goedert, 17. Mike Williams, 23.
Yeah, so everyone's all around.
New England Patriots defense, 22.
Oh, yeah, so that's going to be a big week. I mean, anytime you have a defense pop off, as long as your team does what, like even their projections, if you have a defense pop off, you're gonna have a good week.
29-0. That will get you some points.
Yeah, that will definitely get you some points.
Because they really didn't do a whole lot. I mean, they had a defensive touchdown, 2 sacks, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, but 0 points allowed.
That's an automatic 10 right there. And then plus on top of the defensive touchdown, it's another 7. And then with everything else, get a little bit of 5 more.
I think it's 6. Is that?
Maybe it's 6. But just a solid performance from her defense. And she takes down Bloss this week. I think I'm facing Bloss next week. But he's been scoring points now.
But hold on, though. She also left Derrick Henry on the bench.
Why?
Who popped off for 27. Ooh. She started J.D. McKissick. I think it's...
Maybe there was a questionable tag on Derrick Henry going into Sunday. But even if there's a questionable tag, like he's one of those guys, like you wait to the last minute and then just swap him out if need be.
Like, they were playing the Commanders. I don't.
Yeah, that's kind of weird to go the opposite way on that. Like,
say that again. I'm looking at the wrong league. Week. No, week 5.
Yeah, she sat Derrick Henry, so she could have had an even bigger week. Because what did McKissick give her?
8.7.
Yeah, so that's another 19 points. So
Zeke was 7.8.
So either way, like that's another 21 points. So she'd be up there in the 190s, which is insane. So don't ever sit Derrick Henry again. I'm gonna let you know, Natalie.
Maybe next week. Definitely sit him next week.
Are you playing her next week?
No. He's on a bye week.
Oh yeah, no. I still play him. He might get points. He'll probably get more than Zeke on his bye week.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Thinking about it, Natalie should definitely play Derrick Henry on her bye week.
Definitely. But going up to the next matchup, we have Ryan, who's on a heater, going against Matt, who's not.
Matt's hot garbage.
Matt, I love you to death, Matt. You're one of my best friends. And
Yes.
but dude, like everybody wants to score points against Matt. I think he has the most points scored against him, but he hasn't had a great week yet.
Hold on though. His Eagles won again though.
His Eagles won again, so
So
he's
maybe
0 and
he's figured
5.
it
He's
out.
5 and 0. Maybe he's
He made a deal with the devil.
yeah. Maybe he is playing the long con. He told everybody like
Mhm.
I'm gonna go 0 and 17 in fantasy football, but the Eagles are definitely going flawless. So we'll put that to the test next week. So if he gets his first win, expect the Eagles to get their first loss.
Ooh.
Oh, I think he'll be in
I
pain.
I think he'd drop half his team before that happened though.
Yeah, he's definitely benching some players.
Especially because they play Dallas next week.
Oh, I mean, Dak's gonna be back next week, possibly.
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 Did you see Jerry Jones? What Jerry Jones said?
I
Because
did.
you know
I
Jerry
missed it.
Jones is God.
Yeah.
He said, "Can Dak spin a ball?" So basically, he wants him to put the ball on the ground and spin it,
hmm
and that's how Jerry Jones is testing. Hey, is your thumb okay? I want you to spin a ball.
Oh, I mean, but
But
like,
if you think about it, without pressure being able to, you can't spin a ball.
yeah.
It
Well,
makes sense.
the crazy
Kinda.
thing is, I believe Dak went down last year as well, and Cooper came in, didn't he? And he was doing good last year with Dak out. And the
Mhm.
same trend is happening again.
And
Like,
and Coop we trust.
yeah, like is Cooper Rush Tom Brady? Just kidding. I mean, he's not like,
It could be the next Brady Bledsoe.
but I mean, it's just
Is Cooper Rush the GOAT, the second GOAT?
but their defense is definitely stepped up. So
Mhm.
their defense is like winning in
Oh,
these games. So
and I forgot to say in the remember I was telling you like each week there's a certain monetary thing in the Capital League where so this last week was best defense.
okay, you won that with the Dallas defense.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you love to see it. So Dallas is getting you some money now.
Yeah, now not only is my team 4-1, but they're pulling me in some cash too. I'm like,
Oh, you doubled down. You love to
yeah,
see it. Dallas is feeling
no,
good right now. I can't say the same about Arizona.
yeah. What I love to see though, that next game there, not so much that Theo won, but that Damian lost. And he's my other Cowboys fan, but he was on that pedestal. He was feeling all high and mighty.
Yeah, and he was
Look at you
scoring.
now.
He was scoring Natalie numbers every
Yes.
week. So he was scoring
Don't
100.
call him that. Don't call him
Yeah,
that.
she's gonna get a big head after listening
Don't
to this
fill her
one.
head up.
But he was scoring Natalie numbers. But
Mhm.
Natalie didn't start the year scoring Natalie numbers. So Damian did, but 2 weeks back to back underperforming. I mean, 124 points is not a bad week, but Theo's team popped off, and I know he has Josh Allen on there. Josh Allen is a cheat code, and so he's on a 3-game win streak. So you got to shout out to him. You got to shout out. I believe who else was on a 3-game win streak? Ryan. These guys started off the league 0-2, and they definitely played the waiver wire. They turned it around, and now the league is getting to that point where it's like I felt like it happened last year too. It just started getting super competitive, and we have a lot of 3-2 teams. We have a lot of 2-3 teams. We only have one 0-5 team in the league. Other than that, everybody's right on that verge of picking on Matt every week.
Yeah. Just stop sucking, Matt. So I was looking at Damian's players. He keeps putting his faith in Christian Kirk, which I'm not saying it's a terrible thing, but for the last few weeks he's been just underperforming. I think everyone got on that Jacksonville hype, and it's slowly dwindling down a bit. But Damian Harris only got up 2 points as well.
I believe he got hurt.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did, which sucks because on a week that you're blowing out, like that's your running back. You have a New England running back. They're blowing out the Lions, and he gets hurt. It's like that's the week that you want him.
Yeah, that's definitely some missed points opportunities right there. But it's oh wow, I forgot what I was going to say. So go ahead.
No, it's good.
Okay. Yeah.
I
So
had nothing else.
congratulations to the winners this week.
Everyone but Matt.
Everybody but Matt and you. But just kidding. I mean, you're on a 3-loss streak. I didn't even offer people coffee this year, and they want to start beating you already.
Yeah, I know. As long as I don't go 5, I mean, it would really suck to have 5 losses in a row.
Yikes. Yeah. I mean, you're trending that way. I'm just kidding. But you have a lot of injured players, and we did make a trade, and we can announce it on
Ooh.
here because it's not going to pop up till tomorrow. But and everyone obviously knows in the league that we made a trade.
Mhm.
So you proposed this trade to me out of the blue because
Yep.
I was just sitting at my desk, probably not doing anything. But you proposed this trade to me. You go ahead. I'll let you announce the trade.
So I believe I asked for uh, Josh
Yep.
Jacobs and Godwin. Godwin's really been vibing with. I mean, other than Mike Evans, Godwin's I think number 2 on the team, isn't he?
Yeah, he's number 2. He has been dealing with some injuries, but he looks to
Mm.
be healthy now. Um, he's a consistent player, I'll tell you that. Like we haven't seen the Godwin numbers that we saw last season, but his consistency is there. So
Well,
I mean,
with Mike Evans, because I have Mike Evans in all my leagues. With Mike Evans popping off like he does, they're gonna start doubling him. It's a matter of time before they really start covering down on him, which is gonna open it up, I think.
yeah, there's a possibility it could open up Chris Godwin. There's a possibility it could open up. I, on the other hand, received Jalen Waddle and DeAndre Swift.
Yep.
And I personally think because DeAndre Swift has his bye week this week, so does Josh Jacobs. Yeah, so they both have bye weeks, so we can't play these guys against this week. But it's gonna DeAndre Swift's gonna be healthy after that. Right. I think the Detroit Lions with him in are a different team. And because definitely. they can do that 2-back system. You can see this week Jamal Williams got shut down, and I think that's majority because like they need that 2-back system. And I have a lot of faith in DeAndre Swift. I have him in my crazy points league.
Brown.
Yeah,
with St. Brown
out. Yeah, so it's gonna open back up over there in the Lions, and so I'm happy with that trade because I bench Josh Jacobs anyways. I have a lot of good running backs, and so I'm willing to take the gamble on that. But I took a gamble on that because I want Waddle. Because even with Teddy Bridgewater, I think he'll put up good numbers because they cover Tyreek Hill so much, and Tyreek Hill's going to get his touches. Don't get me wrong, but that opens up Waddle so much. I think he has a higher ceiling than Chris Godwin, but his consistency is not as much. So
see, I knew I needed to do something big. I'm on a 3-game losing streak. I needed to make one of these blockbuster trades because I need points now.
Yeah, and
maybe not this week, but
me and Matt were talking about that. This trade makes sense for you because you need to win now. And I feel like this trade makes a little bit more sense for me because I'm sitting at 4-1. I have the time, and especially with DeAndre Hopkins coming back next week, I had the time to sit on these players if I need to.
Oh, trust me, I looked at that.
And I also looked at like their end of the year schedule, and I really like their end of the year schedule compared to Chris Godwin, especially. I mean,
go to the next screen as we're talking about this.
Okay. Yeah. Let's pull up the other one.
Sorry. So I knew with how long it took you to answer me back, I knew you got it right away.
Yeah.
And with how long it took to answer me back, I'm like, he knows this is a good deal. It's just a matter of weighing options. And I did that for about an hour before I even sent it to you. So we say it was about a 3-hour trade.
Yeah, definitely. It was pretty quick.
Let's run through this one real quick.
Yeah. Go ahead and so
I got it up on my screen too. So
okay, perfect.
You want me to start going?
Yep.
All right. On my screen, it's a little bit different than here, so I'm going to go in a different order. I played Natalie this week. She was up big time. it came down to Monday night. I had Carlson, who got me 190 points, as did her kicker. So nulled that out. And then I had Patrick Mahomes. And so every pass, I'm going crazy in the living room. She's texting you guys, "Hey, come get your boy."
Yeah, she was not having it Monday night.
And it literally came down to the very end. I think I got up to 999 points, and then with him kneeling on that last play, I lost a yard. So I was trying to break 1,000. I was really hoping, but ended up at 998. Crazy point fake.
That's me. Yep.
Another L for you.
L. I'm on a 4-loss streak. I'm 1 loss away from going on to Losers Island in this league. And the rough thing is, I have the second most points scored in this league, and I have the most points scored against me.
By a landslide. It's huge.
I almost have more points scored on me than the top person, who's Matt. He has 2,600, or I think 2,600 points, and like I have like 2,500 points scored against me. So
yeah.
You're
the victim of schedule this year.
I am the victim of schedule, and especially because that first week I should be 0-5 right now, because that first week I scored 1,000 points, but Matt, like with the points adjustment, because we did the point adjustment on the app, Matt scored just under 1,000 points. So I'm the only one in this league to score 1,000 points on the app, and like this year. And I'm sitting in second place in the most points, and I'm sitting in last place.
That's why we call it the Crazy League.
It's the Crazy League. It's the Crazy League.
And then Matt doing much better in this league. Much better in this league. Beating Ryan by another landslide. Ryan really came back last week. I thought he was really looking promising. At least he got off Losers Island there. But you and Ryan are now bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, I mean, and then Ryan beat me. So like his only win this year is against me. And a week that I had another great week, and he just did a little bit better. And this week is my worst week so far. And it's unfortunate, but I face Matt again next week. So I'm probably gonna take another L and end up on Losers Island, because his team is popping off. And my team is trending downward, so I'm gonna be making a few switches, and we'll see how that goes. But
I already did that this morning.
Yeah, you did that this morning. I was kind of waiting for people to switch around, because I'm one that likes. I like to be patient. I like to be patient.
There's no waiver.
I know, but I want to see what you drop, because a lot of times people drop something, and I'm like, can that person pop off? Like, it always happens. It seems like anytime someone drops someone,
Kamara for the same reason. He's been doing great for me.
Yeah, right. All right. So we're all set. Pete is actually going to be joining us right now. He's our special guest of the week, and he should be popping in right now. Let me close this down. Oh, camera's blurry, and we're going to run a little bit long, but he'll be quick. What's up, Pete? How you doing?
What's going on, boys?
Hey, what's going on, Pete?
Welcome. Sorry,
you can hear me now.
I can hear you. We're pasta free. We're good to go.
No more pasta up on the top of the.
Before the stream started, we were testing out the audio and everything, and Nick was going through it, and they had a box of pasta up on the shelf. So me and Pete were having a good time with that. But welcome to the podcast, Pete. I appreciate you joining us today. You are a participant in the Rent Free League. And let's start off with, how did your week go this week?
My week started horrible. So Jonathan Taylor, owner here, which is trash by itself. And then
everything will align.
So he got hurt, and I'm not a big football guy, but on the fantasy Reddit it said Hines. Grabbed him on the waiver. Trash. Fucking concussion, whatever. 1 second into the game, 1 point. So that really
was at least 30 seconds into the game. So
and I'll tell you, we have a group chat. Pete was down bad Thursday night already. He's like, I'm quitting the league. He's like, not next year. He's like, every time I do something, someone does something to hurt me.
Why? All right. Game 1, Dax, gone. My backup QB was Lance at the time. I had 2 QBs. Lance, gone.
It's just,
I drafted Robinson, shot. Hines. I mean, just every single player.
yeah.
I have.
Well, I had Jonathan Taylor. I had Tua. I had Swift. I mean, I pulled Naheem Hines. I picked up who did I pick up in the crazy league, Adam? It was
Let's see. I can pull that up real quick.
the Patriots,
Damian Harris.
possibly.
Wait, is that not you? That's you. Why isn't it showing up?
I don't know.
You don't have any.
Sorry, I didn't mean.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good. But I don't see it.
So that's Thursday, right?
Yeah,
Boom.
Thursday.
Down bad. Let me pull up my week 5 here. So I mean, Kyler Murray always could go off. Didn't quite go off. Terrifying. I had Wentz, who was solid. I got Geno Smith, who put up even more numbers on my bench.
Yeah.
I've never heard that said before in my life. Wentz was solid.
Yeah.
We have Lance and Dax.
Yeah.
I've been down bad on my QB. Geno Smith on my bench, popping off. Edmonds, thank God he was on my bench. Trash.
He got me 0.1 in another league.
0.1
points.
Yep.
Your team sounds like my teams.
Yeah, you guys have a same team.
Yeah.
That's why I went 0-8 between 2 leagues. Just saying.
Yeah, so Pete, it could be worse.
Yeah, I didn't trust him. He was injured. I was like, I'll give him an extra week off. I got, I got Dylan. He's gonna do okay against the Giants. No,
this is my guy.
18 points on my bench.
This is my guy.
So he had Diggs pop off. He had Henry pop off. So going into Thursday, I had one player left. He had nobody. Patriots D, 22 points.
Hey.
Yeah. So I was down bad on Monday. All I had left was Kelsey and a dream, and he made the dream happen by 0.56.
Yeah, it was
insane.
It was insane when he caught that last touchdown. I was like, "Holy shit, Pete won!" Because it was a little bit left in the game, and he had the third touchdown, and you're like, "Damn, he's not going to get me enough." And it got so close, and then that last touchdown came in. I was like, "Oh, it was
end of the half.
Yeah,
10 points." I was like, I mean, 20 in the next half. I'm like, I can expect 20, 25, but man, with 33, whatever, and that's what little daddy needed.
Little daddy needed it. So yeah, I mean, it was a comeback victory, and probably the best comeback of the year so far.
Back-to-back weeks. Monday night game has won it for me. Where I was down bad. I was down bad the week before, but I had Patriots D pop off at the last second, and
is this myself?
It's the beards.
There's two of us.
There's no beard here in the middle. So.
What was your draft pick, Nick, in that league that you have this team?
Which one?
Well, you had John. You had to have first draft pick, right?
Easy dubs.
So you had Jonathan Taylor, and Pete had the first round draft pick. So you guys it's crazy how similar you guys' drafts went, being at the number 1 draft pick.
Well, in easy dubs, I also have AJ Dillon. I have Naheem. I have Naheem Hines.
You have Chase Edmonds. That's a different one. Okay.
Yeah.
But
his stats are so skewed. His first game 20 points, and then everything else is 3 to 9.
Yeah, I mean that's unfortunate.
His average is nice and high, and he's.
But the crazy thing is, Aaron Jones hasn't been doing crazy over there either. Aaron Jones last year popped off, but he's consistent. But
so is AJ Dillon. I mean, Dillon is getting at least 10 rushes a game. He is a clear RB 1.5. Not necessarily an RB2. He's an RB1.5.
But
I
he's
mean,
not,
when you got
he hasn't been turning those 10 attempts into anything lately, unfortunately.
yeah, he's just get better.
Get better.
Straight
Just
muff cabbage.
look at your team and be like, get better. But I don't want to keep Pete too long because I know it's late over there. He's from New York. But I want to talk.
Oh.
Let's talk about your biggest disappointment of the week. Who is me?
As a person, nothing to do with football.
That's wild.
Disappointment of the week would have to be Hines and his little bitch ass head. But if we're being real, let me flip it back to week 5. Disappointment of week 5, the one that really broke my soul, I think, was Dylan, because it was between him and Montgomery. And it was like, ooh, he's coming off an injury. Let me play Dylan. He's supposed to have a real great week against the Giants. And he did not.
Yeah.
And it was hurtful. And he disrespected me.
He broke my heart.
Just straight disrespectful.
That's
But
definitely fair.
Shout out to Mike Williams, though, popping off. Debo with a weak. But, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Hines got hurt, so he has a kind of an excuse
Of course.
getting 2
No,
points. But fucking AJ Dillon played the whole goddamn game and got you almost
3.4.
Yeah, a little bit over what Hines did in one play. So yeah, so definitely disappointment of the week. What about you, Nick?
Chase Edmonds, he got 1 yard
Against the Jets.
1 yard.
Go
How do you
Jets.
get 1 yard? Like you've got to get the ball and trip and fall to get 1 yard.
Yeah, you can literally fall forward and get more than a yard.
Literally one attempt is all he got, it looks like. With 2 targets that he dropped.
I have no NFL experience whatsoever. I bet you I could get at least 2 yards in the game.
You get lit up, but you get the 2
Listen,
yards.
NFL, if you're listening, send it.
Send it. Let's roll it.
Hold on. 6 foot, 240.
Practice squad even.
Yeah. Put him in. He'll get those 2 yards. QB sneak it. But I would say my biggest disappointment this week is got to be James Robinson and pretty much the Jacksonville Jaguars in a whole. They started
Christian Kirk as well.
Yeah, I mean, just even Trevor Lawrence. They started off so hot. And I'm going to put my faith in them again this week because, unfortunately, I have some buys. So I need to play James Robinson. I'm picking up their defense because their defense doesn't look bad. It's just their offense lost that lackluster feel to it. Is their lackluster feel to it now. But I'm gonna give James Robinson one more week. He started off this year with great numbers. Last 2 weeks, he kind of boned me. But so this week, James Robinson's disappointment. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just gotta get a little boning.
Oh, I mean in life.
Oh, okay, in life.
Tasty treat.
Tasty treat. Little tasty treat. But let's jump over to Nick. Who was your biggest star? Who's your star this week?
You can so for me personally, because I mean I don't have Kelsey for the first year ever. It's gotta be Mahomes, but really Kelsey. I mean, birthday weekend, his birthday's in a couple days, I think, and he just went off 25 yards, 4 touchdowns. Fuck off,
dude. I don't even say that he went off. He literally just got targeted in the red zone and converted all 4 red zones into touchdowns.
How many times have you caught 4 touchdowns in your life?
I could catch a touchdown right now. Just kidding.
In Madden.
In Madden, yes, right now in Madden. But it has to be some freak incident that's never happened in the league before, because you're getting 4 catches for 4 touchdowns. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. That's all you need when you're Travis Kelce.
I guess.
5 red zone targets.
Yeah, it's
literally missed one.
You missed one, so that's
my man. Thank you. Next week. Let's go.
Kelsey, I mean, he's a cheat code as well in tight end position. You could always expect big things from him, but that's absurd.
Did you guys see the stat this week? I believe if you put him as wide receiver numbers, he's number 3.
Oh.
I believe that was the.
There's no way. Justin Jefferson had 30 points.
Yeah, but he had 33. So
But I'm talking over the
Yeah.
season.
He did, huh?
yeah, so like
Over season.
over
Oh,
the season. So
jeez.
if he was a
Yeah.
wide receiver, which I goddamn think he should be designated as a wide receiver because he does not block. He does not block like other tight ends. And if other tight ends just didn't block, we'd have more people to talk about. But Kelsey, God damn it!
I'm trying to figure out what hockey game he's got on the background. I could see it in the reflection.
The Rangers game.
Are
New
they-
York,
Oh,
baby.
okay.
Are they winning still?
I don't know if you heard it. That light right there
Yeah.
goes off when they score and at the end of the game.
You
That's
love to
awesome.
see it. You love to see it. The man cave, the
Absolutely.
bunker. That I've actually been down to the bunker in Jersey with him. That room is fucking amazing. Like he's got so many cool things in there. Like you could get lost in the bunker. But so who's your star of the week? It's probably going to be Kelsey as well. But
It can't be Kelsey.
yeah, you gotta pick someone
else.
different. Pick someone different.
Me, star of the week?
Yeah, it could be just anyone that
Lockett.
popped off. Who?
Lockett on my bench, 27 points.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I
him-
thought it said D-Hop.
No,
Solid.
Lockett had a great week, and I was actually really worried about them. Like I stayed away from Seahawks players because I didn't know if Geno
Geno's
Smith was going to be that
balling.
guy.
That's it. Next week, I'm like Geno Lockett. Do I run the
The duo.
twofer?
Oh,
Yeah.
because that could be a high ceiling right there. Because
Yeah,
the
right.
way they're
Touchdown
playing over there with Metcalf and Lockett and Geno, it's a little scary to be honest.
No, the scariest part for me is it's either Lockett or Metcalf. It's never Lockett and Metcalf.
Yeah.
And that's the scary part. That's what you chance when you play any of them.
But I feel that's what the reason why is because they're both great receivers. So like Lockett will pop off one week, and then defenses go into the next week. They're like, we got to shut down Lockett. So then that just opens up Metcalf. So you're basically going back and forth. Like if you had them both, and you could play
Week
them
6,
opposite, yeah.
Not week 6.
by
They're
week
gonna let
6.
them wide open for me.
Yeah, but if you had them both in a league somehow, like you could,
Remember last season?
yeah, you could legit play one of them one week, let him pop off, and then just swap the other one in next week, and just go back and forth. But I would say my biggest, it's got to be, I got to give it up to Patrick Mahomes, man. Like they're down 17 points, and he throws for 4 touchdowns. He threw for 5 touchdowns against the Cardinals, but he has the most touchdowns by far as QB this year, like passing and through the ground. And he's just, he's fun to watch. Like Mahomes does things that other people don't. It's I hate the dude. I hate the dude because his commercials are terrible.
State Farm?
And like his family is terrible, but like but he's a footballer and he does stuff like this guy's going to be in the league for a very long time. He's a special talent. If they can in their Super Bowl,
Their offensive line, if they can figure that shit out,
they're Super Bowl contenders every year. And one of these years they're going to figure out that O-line. They're going to have a great defense, and they're going to be scary for 2-3 years, 4 years, as long as they can stay healthy. And Mahomes has a track record of staying healthy, and he's different. But
built different.
he's built different. I mean, that guy can fucking ball. It's insane. But I just want to we ran a little bit over time. Unfortunately, sorry for keeping you up late, but we appreciate you coming out here, Pete. We try to have a different guest on every week. You absolutely crushed it, so we thank you for coming
Virgin,
on.
baby.
And we
Huck
want
it,
to,
chuck it.
It's like Twinsie. It's like,
and I just want to throw out a comment. Like Pete, he doesn't really watch football. His sport is hockey. He loves hockey to death.
Oh, yeah.
And if we could play fantasy hockey, I would. If you were down to play fantasy hockey, I'd play it with you, knowing absolutely nothing, and probably still beat you. I'm just kidding. No. But Pete, he was down bad these last couple weeks, but he's pulled out some clutch.
I lucked out.
He pulled out some clutch weeks, and hopefully he doesn't quit the league next year. We'll see how this season goes. But I'm on Team Pete. I think he's better. His team is built better than half the league. He's 3-2. Look at that. He's in 6th place. I'm 3-2 as well, and I'm below Pete. So he's got
Always
it.
pull
And
up Pete.
I never want to see Pete in the clown outfit again because I think he
My
knows.
first season, I was down bad, like down bad.
Yeah, I think his first season he
I won maybe 1 or 2 games, just lucky.
And like one of those games, crazy enough, was like off of me, and like I went like 13-1 that season. So
I had like 150 points that week miraculously. Everybody popped off. Like it was just one of those. But most of that time, I got like 65 points a game.
yeah, it was.
I was down bad.
That was a rough season, but I mean, you learned from it. You're doing a lot better,
did,
and I hope
I
to
did.
see you again next year.
I browsed the Reddit. I browsed the Reddit.
Yeah, I mean, I watch YouTube videos all the time. I mean, and sometimes I'll even like text you. I text Georgie a lot because Georgie.
Yeah.
I mean, I want him to stay competitive in the league because last year he kind of
No,
didn't
let
set
him
his.
drop to the bottom. Below me.
I know, but he didn't set up his lineup a couple times last year. So I'm texting him on the side. I'm like, hey, dude, please set your lineup, and also like may want to pick this guy up. So like I'm giving him a little hints. Maybe a little collusion, a little, so like trying to get him into the playoffs, and then not help him at all.
Let's just keep
Why'd you
Yahoo
gotta do that?
That's it. Yahoo down bad.
Yeah, Yahoo down bad. We just got to keep Gabe down there. He's trash. But we want to thank you guys for watching another episode of Off the Balls podcast. We want to thank Pete for being our special guest today.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
we appreciate you,
pleasure being
brother.
here, boys.
And then thank you, Nick, as always, for joining me for another podcast. I love you,
I
buddy.
wouldn't be anywhere else.
Yeah, anywhere else. And then I'm Adam. I'm out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Much love. Deuces.